It's your boy Bleeve. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great morning. My name is Bleeves. This is Breakfast with Bleeves. And Prometheum. God damn it. Prometheum gets more and more and more incredible by the moment. This is one of the craziest last-ditch Democratic Gary Gensler bullshit moves that I have ever seen. And as people start to dig in, they're not even bothering to try. Like, they're not even trying to obscure all of the bogus BS that they've got going on. And we're going to talk about, you guys are not going to believe this. Like, and if you've been keeping up with it, and if you've been following it, and you've been seeing this whole thing playing out, like, you're just going to be like, what is actually real? You have got to be just looking at stuff like, what is going on here? Because it makes no sense. First of all, little known fact: if you had to run a registered securities company that sells cryptocurrency in the United States, did you know you need a ponytail? Nobody would have ever even thought that was possible, that you needed it. By the way, hit the like button on the way in. And we're going to talk about this goddamn crazy. This is insanity. This is absolute craziness. And I love every second of it. I love every second of it. This shit is absolutely insane. Let's break off topic and go to the price action. The pre-markets in the Dow Jones seem to be moving pretty well. Liquidity, we're still just oscillating here, coming down a little bit more. Looks like maybe we're going to be attacking this with some more lows before we get any chance to move forward. So we'll keep that in mind. The market does seem to be in a positive mode right now, but it's not sustained. We did have a little dip here when the American market woke up. The American market woke up and said, "Profit? Are you shitting me? We're not doing that." So it immediately dipped. I can go over here to the 30-minute candles and stuff like that. You can see this big blue candle happen over here just out of nowhere. Now it seems to be getting eaten back up. So positivity might be the order of the day. We might be seeing a little bit of a rally. I don't know if the rally sustains itself. Not really sure what happens here. Again, this is 30-minute candles. So, but generally speaking, it's been a nice or at least a reasonable amount of recovery, and it seems like we're picking up a little bit of steam. So we'll see what happens over the next little while. On to the broader markets over here. 4chan still up big time. MMAI having a little reversal. Pepe was having a little bit of reversal and just had a massive sell-off because Pepe and Binance just delisted the lending arm of the there was. You could borrow against your Pepe. Well, you can't borrow against your Pepe anymore because the value of it continues to decline. In the meantime, the founding member of No, I'm not crazy, I'm just really Pepe'd, is over here. This is my friend Chrissy Pells. She's if you don't know who she is and has been for a while. She's she works out in Hollywood, and she was on the team that did the recent Super Mario movie. And just a degen like the rest of us, living her dream out in Hollywood, and at the same time doing all this stuff. And now she is under attack from Pauly, because Pauly says, if you give me money, I give you nothing. And then he's being a dick about all this stuff. saying, I didn't promise you anything. And now, so basically, at this point, he's creating these different things. And then she said, well, you know what? If it's not for Pepe, then I really want my money back to put into Pepe. Am I the only person who thinks that this is crazy? And then, of course, what happens here? Going down here, Paulie starts laughing at her. And then we get to the point where he starts ridiculing. This is the guy. This is the guy who sits in these spaces chats and says stuff like, hey, I want you guys to know that I'm a fat, gay, born again Christian, and that I think, and I really accepted Jesus into my heart. And also, you can go fuck yourself, and I hope you die in a car fire, you piece of shit. So, you know, that's not really, I mean, this is in the dude, there's problems here. There's real problems here. Just a weird sort of person. But anyway, so that's the person who's the representative, quote unquote, for the community for Pepe right now. Just being bonkers on all cylinders. Anyway, so for the guys that have been doing this for a long period of time, for the people who've been waiting, like I told you before, there's a breakout that's going to happen because it is in the descending wedge pattern, right? That there will be most likely a breakout to the upside, but the farther down it goes, the worse it's going to be. And I told you guys this before. If it didn't break out right here, and we didn't start testing these new these recurring levels, 1550, 1700, getting up into the 1800, if we don't do that, then it's going to continue coming down. That doesn't mean the run's going to be bigger, right? It just means that the run's going to be lower. So what could happen is, for those of you that are up here that bought in at this spot, you're never getting your money back. You know what I mean? Or if you do, it's going to be months and months and months and months before you even see a dime off of it. In the meantime, it's just going to keep coming down, and then boom. Remember, by the way, 375 million market cap, 375 million market cap, just sitting there waiting for something to happen, getting tired of waiting, seeing stuff like 4chan running wild in the space, just continuing to mint newer highs, seeing stuff like that. That doesn't help. It doesn't help any Pepe holder. Eventually, people get tired of this and they just move on, right? Because all this is, it looks like this one of those long-standing, it's going on with SHIB right now too, right? So, and SHIB at least has a use case and a utility. So, this is just, it's just, and you've got a guy out here attacking anybody who disagrees, doing this maxi shit, and it's just embarrassing, and it's exhausting, and it's not going to bode well for the Pepe community. It's just not. And I do wish them well, and I do hope that everybody gets something back, and at least they get one more run to try to get made whole and stuff like that. But it just doesn't look like it. But anyway, WAGMI having a little reversal, 4,800. Cult 3,109, RFD 1277, BRL 5,007, SHIB 6,708, Ben 6,831. Ben kind of oscillating. I'm waiting for a breakout, but I'm not seeing it yet. Need to see it break over 7 and maintain over 7. Then we can have a little discussion about it's moving in the positive. Loyal 4210, PSYOP 8109, Deconnect 2710, Volt 3990, down a little bit more today. Grumpy Cat 1035, kind of just right there. Bloom sitting at 6012, and then this 0x DeFi, which I made a video about this the other day, and they actually got a fascinating set of utilities that might be kind of cool, including a rug checker trading at 5 cents right now. So now on to this absolute bonkers shit. By the way, in case you're wondering, Aaron Kaplan doesn't even have a profile picture on LinkedIn. So the guy who's in charge of the largest at this point registered securities trading firm with the SEC, in order to trade crypto, doesn't even want people to see what he looks like. That's a little weird, is it not? But let's take it a step further. Let's go over here. Adam Cochran did an exhaustive look here, and his let me get as a matter of fact here. Boom. Adam Cochran says, "Whoo, baby, this Prometheum story gets even better." So they started in 2017 when they filed their registration A+ and aimed to raise $50 million, right? By the way, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. That trends it, sends it, gets more people. So now, but how did these random lawyers supposedly get approval from the SEC and FINRA? Joined in November of 2017. Well, here's where it starts to get interesting. Look no further than their team, including Rosemary Finelli, who worked for the New York Stock Exchange and then FINRA. Okay, so we already have an insider that's in here doing whatever it is. FINRA, where you need the approval. Oh, she actually worked for them and the New York Stock Exchange, but it gets better. John Tornatori is from CBOE, Director of Global Business Development. So, and that's the Chloe. Let me keep going. The CCO, Joseph Zangri, worked for the SEC. So investigated and prosecuted security laws violators. Are we kidding at this point? Okay, so May of 2023. Now, they've been trying to do this since 2017. Since 2017. Think about this. They've been trying to do this since 2017. They haven't gotten approval in all this time. April 16 of 2023, Patrick McHenry basically drags his nuts across Gary Gensler's chin and then forehead as he starts asking him whether Ethereum is a security or not. So now he knows that he's in desperate straits and that he's in a bad situation. So he needs to know, like, I need somebody in my corner who's going to make it look like that I'm not crazy, because Coinbase is out here saying there's absolutely no way for you to register. Binance is out here saying there's absolutely no way for you to register. Every centralized exchange is out here saying, there's no way to register. You can't do it, right? Well, what he wanted to do was he wanted to prove it differently. So what did he do? He found somebody who he could do that with. Okay, let's go with that. Now, since 2017, did a regulation a filing in 2017, has not launched their product since 2017, have a bunch of former SEC and FINRA staff, and suddenly appear at a hearing parroting political talking points favoring the SEC. And I shit you not, if you go back and you listen to this and you imagine what it would be like, what would it be like if Gary Gensler himself wrote the script for a third party to come in and say, securities are fine. Go listen to it again with that in mind. Okay, so here's the roadmap right now. Hasn't been updated since 2019. So let me say that one more time. The roadmap for Prometheum, the only registered securities crypto digital asset trading platform, hasn't updated its roadmap since Q1 of 2019. I hope everybody in the back just heard me say that. So let's move on, because it's still going to it gets better. They've scrubbed their social media from prior to 2019, which is when they got their current domain on the .com. The previous .info site is still on the Wayback Machine on their site. They said their Genesis block would be 2019. If you search year by year through Google, you'll notice lots of noise about them in 2017 and 2018. Then nothing until the 2020 and 2021, where they claimed to be SEC regulated and raised $15 million. Okay. Now, that means it got approval under Jay Clayton and not the current administration. It leaned on this commission statement to allow broker deals to hold custody digital assets. Okay. But even to date, it acknowledges it can't clear or settle transactions, and therefore, even though it is registered, it can't operate. So, Bloomberg does a piece on them in 2021 that says the firm is still limited in the products it can offer. The company has yet gained approval for clearing and settling under the broker-dealer license, meaning it can't effectively pair it with a separate alternative trading system license to allow customers to trade digital assets. Prometheum Ember anticipates receiving additional approval to clear and settle transactions in the near future, 2021. A company spokesperson said it also has an entity with a license for alternative trading system. The eventual goal is that Prometheum subsidiaries will be able to provide crypto trading for customers. Okay, so at this point, no trading, right? Then when they go silent for a few years, Suddenly, in late 2021 to early 2022, they hire former FINRA and SEC staff, still with no product, after which they suddenly get approvals that they wanted. So what happened? They took public servants, hired them into private sector, and then all of a sudden, the Biden administration in 2021-2022 gave them approval for some more. Right? All of a sudden, here we go. Now, they don't trade a Bitcoin. They don't trade anything, Ben. They have no trade. I went back and checked. They have no trading right now. Now, layer this all with the fact that the fundraiser, they fundraise with Wang Shang, a Chinese Communist Party affiliate. They raised $48 million without a product. They hired people from the SEC and from FINRA, and they paid $1.5 million to Network One Financial Securities. Now, who is Network One Financial? A shady broker with a Chinese affiliated firm and a horrible compliance track record of more than 20 regulatory or civil actions against them. This is just absolutely out of control. But it gets better. That broker was the one behind the iced tea company that pivoted to a blockchain project in 2017 as a scam, as well as another offering that was a blockchain pivot that the SEC charged with fraud. So the company that the SEC charged with fraud, that happens to be the brokerage that they're using. So in 2022, they announced they've launched their ATS. They claim that their ATS supports digital asset securities, including Flow, Filecoin, the Graph, Compound, and Cello. Of course, since none of these are security, they can't trade them because they're not securities, right? Because nobody in Congress has defined them as securities, right? And until it's actually done, they can't do anything with it. So then keep going. They claim their ATS has existed for well over a year and that it's integrated with Anchorage Digital Bank, but no one has heard of it, and it's supposedly now clearing regular crypto assets via an ATS. But that statement, where they claim to be offering those tokens, was in 2022. The Bloomberg article from earlier, where they said they don't have any offerings, can't clear and settle, and hope to list assets in the future, was May of 2023. So in 2022, they claimed that they offered Filecoin, they GRT, Cello, all of these different assets. And then guess what? In May of 2023, they said, oh, we don't have any assets. This is, and here it keeps going here. So they launched their ATS in 2022. In 2023, they're talking about an intent to launch and their hands being tied. Now, why are they suddenly showing up as a congressional witness, right? Why are the tokens they listed in 2022 the same tokens that the SEC has now first listed in their actions against Coinbase and Binance? So those are all listed. Duh. Like, this is getting crazy, right? Make sure you hit the like button on the way in, by the way. There are three possible answers. These are plants who are being given a sweet regulatory deal in exchange for engaging in the way the SEC wanted to. These guys are using their SEC and FINRA connections to push an agenda to get certain assets deemed securities and for them to be the only approved player to capture the market. These guys are grifters who raise tons of money from sketchy sources and for years have been twisting words in progress to continue to ride the grift. So that's kind of a summary right there. So who are they? What are they? And what is going on over here? Ponytail Mafia, basically. Now, it gets better because over here, the Blockchain Association has now sued the SEC, and they want all of the data about this Prometheum company to find out exactly what it is that's going on and how these people got regulatory approval. Now they filed a FOIA to see the request for all of the documents. How did these guys get approval? What is the circumstance in which that happened? So now the SEC is going to have to answer this FOIA request, and it was done through a court. So to try to expedite it. And by the way, Congress is going to do the same thing. The FinTech or agriculture, one of those housing committees is going to do the same thing. Now, let's go to Matt Walsh, because Matt Walsh has been doing the same thing as well. This Prometheum storyline has got to be the strangest thing I've seen in a while in this industry. Has anyone actually looked into this? It's beyond bizarre. In the midst of the SEC bringing cases on Coinbase and Gemini and giving the stiff arm to Robinhood, Prometheum gets approval for a first-of-its-kind special-purpose broker-dealer license for digital asset securities. Then Prometheum CEO somehow gets a seat in front of Congress and starts reading off pre-written notes, clearly coordinating narratives with Democratic members of Congress. Now, if you remember, and if you were watching this, guess what happened? What was happening was the people that were on the Democratic Party, what they were doing was they came out and they said they only asked questions of Aaron Kaplan. Like they just said, "Oh, Mr. Kaplan," and like Maxine Waters, "Mr. Kaplan, do you think that digital assets must be securities?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "That's good enough for me. I have no more questions." Like this guy is suddenly an expert. He doesn't know shit, right? Well, I mean, we can establish right here, like we have no idea who this guy is. We don't know how this guy knows. Here's what we know, that they bought and paid for a bunch of SEC employees and FINRA employees. That's the only thing that we can say for certain at this point, right? And again, even on LinkedIn, not even a picture, right? So as RASSH27 Rodrigo here points out, this ATS absolutely will not work unless the projects first register with tokens with the SEC. There are currently no tokens registered with the SEC because the current regime is not viable for public blockchain networks. U.S. Representative Mike Flood hit the nail on its head on why Prometheum's claims are utter nonsense. And this guy did 4 minutes. And guys, we saw this yesterday. I played this for you. This is 4 minutes worth of him just absolutely dunking on this guy, asking him, can you trade Bitcoin? And the answer is no. Can you trade Ethereum? No. Can you trade anything? No. Then what are you doing? Like, why are you here? Like, you have no value. This is all you're doing is parroting these lines. Like he just dunks on this guy. Absolutely. So then the Prometheum guys want us all to believe that their L1s are securities and will need to come and trade on Prometheum. Not happening, but enter Prometheum chain. What is that you say? These guys have their own blockchain? Yes, and they have their own token. And here we go. So we have the issuance platform, then we have the ATS, then we have the BD clearinghouse, and then we have fees are generated from activity and services on Prometheum's blockchain, and our trading related technology can be white labeled or black labeled. So they have their own blockchain. And if you want to trade cryptocurrency, then what you have to do is come register and only go through this single solitary company right now with the SEC, and everybody else is doing things wrong, right? And then what do we see the other day? Richie, we're going to get into it in just 1 second. How does BlackRock fall into the mix? Well, BlackRock can't do anything, can't trade anything unless they have a place to do it, right? But we'll get to that in just a second. There's a PPT slide that surely won't do a token wrong. They already pre-sold some to Wang Xing. So in the you got to be fucking bullshitting me category, there was an ICO and a pre-sale from these guys, making them a security. So they can't even trade their own token at this point, because it still has to be decided that they're that they are a token. Like, this is unbelievable. Okay, but the SEC said, "Oh no, this is fine. This shit. This is perfect, right? This is absolutely insane." Okay, so now, who is Wang Xing? Someone might want to look into this. The CCCP affiliate, according to PitchBook, Prometheum has raised $48 million. Like all private companies, they're required to file a Form D when they Form Dick, right? When they raise. Oddly, even in their early rounds, they used an investment bank to raise capital. They've been paid in excess of $1.5 million in sales commissions to a New Jersey-based outfit called Network One Financial Securities. Network One Financial Securities has quite a regulatory track record. And as you can see right here, they've been in arbitration 4 times with the SEC, had a civil event against them, and a regulatory event 18 different times. Just like Prometheum, they are a China-affiliated firm. And then the executive team, Martin Kaplan and his 2 sons, Ponyboy and Soda Pop. So this is just absolutely out of its fucking, like, this is insane, right? And then who looks a lot like these guys Gus Ray Kaplan, attorney at law. What? 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 Uh, what? So they're working at a law firm called GusRayKaplan.com, attorneys at law. Here he is. This is Martin Kaplan, the managing member. And then we have Pony Boy and Soda Pop down here doing their thing as well. This is fucking crazy. So the Kaplans are being held up as security law experts. Two of them went to a now unaccredited Thomas Jefferson School of Law. The goddamn thing is no longer even accredited, but these guys are attorneys. What the fuck? This is out of control. Guys, hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in, because this is other companies like Coinbase and Gemini have pursued the BD and ATS pass. Those licensed under current SEC regulations don't let you do much. The SEC is implying that Prometheum path solves the regulatory clarity issue, but it doesn't. What's going on here? Bizarre that this fringe player with no business model is being held up as an example of compliance by the SEC when the actual businesses in the United States can't get a fair shot. An SEC PSYOP? Ben Eth, where are you? Jesus Christ. This is crazy. And look, there's other people who start to get involved here, and they start digging in even deeper and even deeper. And here we go. Pony Boy sitting over here. Kaplan's team received text messages with questions that would next be asked him. Then talking points and prepared answers were passed to Kaplan through a note right before Democrats were called on the floor. The source, this guy right here, he was sitting in the crowd. He was right next to them. This is him taking a picture with his camera as these guys were being asked and given the notes so that they could come up with the right answers. This is absolutely out of its fucking mind. Like, you have never seen anything like this in your, well, actually you have. It's the US government. I mean, should we at any point consider that there's anything but just crooked skullduggery and constant fuckery because it's the US government? I mean, Jesus Christ. Jay Clayton approved these guys originally, and that was under the Trump administration when Jay Clayton was running the SEC, and then the whole grift continued through the Biden administration. They're all in on it. It's all part of this. Look, I don't ever want to call anything a deep state, right? Because I don't believe in that shit. However, I do believe that there is a group of people stuck in the government that just cares about the business of doing the government. That's all they're doing, right? The business of continuing the grift and keeping the government doing the government stuff, because that's how the money is made. That's where the sausage is made. David, I see him every once in a while over in the Pablo's Volt stuff. He's kind of Volt Maxi right now, and doing his thing over in the Voltiverse. And I'm not answering questions much about Volt and stuff like that. And so I would imagine, I mean, we'll see him every once in a while, I think. All right, I would guess. But anyway, so let's move on to the broader market, because now, like, Jesus Christ, guys, did you what the fuck? Like, this is the most insane level of this is insanity at its finest. This is the craziest stuff that you've ever seen. And it's no wonder that there's a call for someone to come in here and stop all of this insanity, right? And then Joe Biden, I can't focus on that right now. I've got important shit to do. Right there, because that's what's probably going on right now. Is they're using this, let these guys run wild and let Gary Gensler and the SEC do this crazy, insane bullshit, because they're not being checked right now. That's the important thing right now. There is no check. They don't understand what is going on with they don't understand what's going on. When they come out, here's the thing. When the Democrats come out and they see that everybody is actually into cryptocurrency, and that the young people are not voting for the Democrats, and they rely on the young people, right? That's been their mantra, right? That's the people who are, and now they're looking, and a certain sector of young votes are starting to peel away, and they're going to have to ask themselves the question, why is that the case? Why are they pulling away? And they start to see that it's cryptocurrency. Oh, they're going to be putting on Bitcoin hats. They're going to be wearing Ethereum jerseys, and they're going to be like, YOLO. We're going to see Liz Warren's going to come out like this one day and just be like, yo, son, I'm totally down with Tether. That's my favorite investment, dog. I've been a fan. Have been a fan of BNB all this time. I assure you it's coming, because they will give me your vote, give me your vote, give me your vote. Anybody who's going to do it. I mean, that's what's going to happen. I mean, and if you're not seeing that, then right now it doesn't matter, but it will matter pretty soon. And when it does, it's going to get a little bit crazy. Now, one thing that I will say, XRP, what in the fuck is happening with XRP right now? XRP is down 3.5% in the last couple of hours. We've started to see this little breakdown on, but we did not, by the way, see the same thing on Ethereum. So something's going on with XRP. Somebody knows something at XRP right now, and it doesn't look good. So could it be that somebody just dumped on the market? Well, have to go to whale alerts and really kind of look at it and see if that's the case, because it very well could be. But by the way, if you're watching the charts right now, let's go look at the 1 minute candle, because it's got to be looking like this shit's got to be looking bonkers. Yeah. So what we're seeing right now is we're seeing this massive reversal, and like the money's just exploding out and then coming back in. The market just opened up. It's up 121 points. So yeah, you're seeing this crazy sort of oscillation over here at the last minute. It was going from 1.61 to 2.3 over and over and over again, which means that like this, it's just been absolutely bonkers what is going on in this market. There's this big fight right now for a sell-off, and I don't know how, I don't know what's going to end up happening here. We're bouncing off of the support right here, and it looks like they're putting in. It looks like the capital is trying to flow back into the market. So we'll see what happens over the next little while. But again, there's that 5 minute candle, just a giant sell-off that happens out of nowhere in the U.S. market, because the U.S. market is now open. All of the profit, all of the everything that might have happened here is now getting sucked out in terms of liquidity, like it's Prometheum and Gary Gensler's dick. You know what I mean? So yeah. Whew. It's getting absolutely crazy here. What's the old saying? There's no room for a pimp. So yeah. So well, what do you guys think? Because it seems pretty crazy to me. You know what? But here's some good news. Here's some good news. The COO, the chief operating officer of Bencoin said, "Love your videos," to me. So
we chat online for like 2 hours every day, so I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious.
That's a pretty good sign, right? Maybe, just maybe, we'll continue to produce Ben content. That's pretty good. I talked to BitBoy a little bit yesterday. We'll be on Around the Blockchain later on today. So if you haven't already, mark your calendar. It's at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. I just got my email a little while ago. Looking forward to it. So yeah, it's going to be, should be a lot of fun. So yeah, we're super excited today. Also, be on the crypto war room. So if you want, then you can go on the crypto war room. And what you might ask, is the crypto war room like? Well, it's kind of like this.
I need you to be honest with me.
I am being honest with you, dude.
This is gonna go a lot easier if you're honest.
And I will, yeah, dude.
Yeah. What are you on right now, man?
Cloud9, what? Cloud9?
No, what are you on right now?
One?
You gotta be honest.
I'm on one, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Stop fucking around. What are you on right now, man?
TikTok, what? Instagram, all of them. I'm on all of them.
I'm not talking about your ads. Drugs.
Sure, if you got some. Yeah, I'm down. You guys partying? Yeah,
Sir,
dude.
Step out of the car.
Never gets old. Never gets old. Anyway, so yeah, we'll be on Around the Blockchain today. We're going to be on the Crypto War Room today. Just trying to expand the brand, as they say. Hoping to get a little bit of traction. You know what I mean? See what happens over here. And you know, if it's good, then maybe we'll even pull out Donald Trump, because you know, one of the biggest supporters of my channel is Donald Trump, and I'll show you why.
I'm about to drop some hugely powerful alpha. And that's what they call it. They call it alpha, believe me. Okay? And not many people know this, but alpha means that I know big things, strong things, powerful things. So here's the alpha, folks. If you want to be hugely rich like me, you got to join and subscribe to the BLEEVESCRYPTO YouTube channel. You got to become a member, because many people say, quite frankly, it's the strongest YouTube channel out there. It's fantastic. It's the best. So let me know what you think, folks. Funny Donald out.
And if you can't trust Donald Trump, who can you trust? Science? Well, scientifically speaking, he's right. So, and you don't have a beaker to fill it up with whatever juice you use in order to prove him wrong. So until then, yeah, he's right. So, yeah, this is yeah. So let's break out into the further markets over here. The drawdown for the U.S. market is starting right now. We're having that little bit of sell-off that's been happening here. I don't know where it's coming from. It's the normal Americans or weak-handed, paper-handed hoes selling off on the market. So that seems to be the order of the day. On the 1 hour, was a nice little run up for a little while, but it seems we're tripping over this 1 trillion market cap. I don't know how that's going to be, but Bencoin, as you can see over here, is having a nice little run today, up 4%. So at least that's been, and by the way, I do want to say that shout out to Bencoin, and some of these, not all of them, but some of these tokens have not dumped at all during the entirety of all of this craziness in the crypto market. 4chan still running up at 1198, still just continuing to mint newer highs. It looks like it's about to hit its all-time high yet again. So as you kind of make your way through here and navigate this crypto space, you're starting to see that some of these tokens have become kind of hedges against the dunking on by the market. Ben, it was kind of pumping a little bit, had a dump right here, which kind of coordinates around the time that we started to get the SEC stuff, but it was already like right in this range right here. So really no harm, no foul. Just reverse the pump. So, that one's been pretty good too. Come over here to, oh, you know what? Most of them are on my phone now, but Mong, all these other ones, RFD hasn't really done anything in a few days, had a little bit of a pump up here, but then of course, it had that June 14 dump, but it was really just kind of in that range. Like it's nothing's really, nothing really fell. So, shout out to all these meme coins. They've actually been holding their own floors. And if you're holding a bunch of those, then that prevented you from getting dunked on by the entire market doing whatever the entire market be doing, dog. So yeah, it's been really interesting in the markets for the last couple of days, and I hope you guys have played them perfectly. That'll be that'll be kind of cool, broski. So I guess that's gonna, I gotta get ready for these shows and get all this stuff going on. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's just really kind of oscillating. Well, so look, that I don't really know. I don't really understand. I just saw it. Some people saw it and people are into it. And I think that the market is still kind of pumping a little bit, but I don't know. There's just, we get these weird tokens every once in a while that just do, weird stuff that operate against the market. Now, the one thing that I will say that's probably most important about that is it's got a 1 point. It's the market cap on it. I think the market cap on it is still very, very low. The liquidity on 4chan is 559,000. So it's a sub 5 million market cap. So that's kind of probably why it looks like it's having that big run. It's, if you got in low, if you got in at a real low number, you're feeling super good about your position, right? It's when you get in, it's when you get in at the 20 million or 30 million market cap and it dumps back down to 5 million that you feel like you're really in crypto. So, 4chan is still just kind of moving along, doing its thing, maybe, 5 million market cap or something like that. So, that I think is what's happening. But anyway, I got to go. Get ready for all this kind of stuff. I got a bunch of stuff going on today. Wish me luck. Tune in if you can. I'll be on Around the Blockchain today. I think it broadcasts at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then the Crypto War Room will be at noon today, Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So this is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we will talk to you again very, very soon.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out, boy, in the proofs and the pudding. So, can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I ain't mean to call you that. I'm ice cold like the keg the bartender tap. On another level like I'm